everybody, GrannyDee.
Manager Bella.
And the manager. And the squirrel squad. Ooh, got Rocky upside down. Nutty Buddy.
Why are they hot?
They're hot.
They're warm.
I've been hatching squirrels. There's Sawyer and Merle.
Can't hold him.
And Chipper is the one like fiber spiders, and he's in there. Black Sammy, Sue's light, Sue's picture. We still got to get up. Okay.
Where's the sign?
And we have another squirrel. It's okay. She was saying, where's the sign? But we got it. We just got to get it up on the wall.
On the way.
You know, when we were showing Happy Mail from Sarah May last night, which way is the squirrel? No, I can't.
I can't really see with the light.
How about, is it the other way? We saw it, Sarah May, last night. Now I'm having a, show them the squirrel.
Yeah, we hold it up. Right?
Yeah.
There's a squirrel.
She made a squirrel washcloth. Isn't that cute? Turned around the other way, too. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it's that way.
I think this is way too.
That way.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay.
Anyway,
It's gorgeous. We love it. We can tell. We knew right away. Right after we quit filming, I looked down on the floor.
There it was.
So, we just said, well, we'll do it next time. And I let Sarah May know. We didn't forget it. We just didn't realize it until after the fact. We got some Happy Mail that I bought myself. But it's still happy. Yeah. Show that.
And then we have like, oh,
we
4th
have
of July.
Red, white, and blue. I believe it's called American or Americana.
Americana.
Its premiere was the $10 for $10. And this is something I don't normally get. It's got the sparkle going on. You want to grab the other ones in my lap? But what I'm going to do is pair them up with something, probably one of my knit crates. And all of them are different. I know these two look alike, but they're not. And I can tell you the colors maybe in a minute. Yeah, this one says Jewelry Box. Jewelry Box.
Where are you reading it?
Right here, above the barcode. And this one is called Disco Ball. This one, I think it's a little more iridescent.
Yeah, I think so too. And then this one is City at Night.
Make sure they can see it. And each one has, how many yards? I've never had a yarn that's 0 in size. It says lace, but I thought lace was 1, but maybe 1 is super fine. So this is so fine, it's 0. But I tell you, it's here. It's right here. But it is really, really fine. And so you use knitting needles would be a size 3, and crochet hook would be a D. And somewhere I saw that there were like 400 and some yards. Where did I see that? Right.
I don't see anything.
It is 76 metallic.
429 yards.
Okay. 76 metallic. And what does that say? 24 paillette?
24% paillette, yeah.
And 24%
glitzer?
Well, wait a minute. That and that. These are just different languages.
Yeah.
Duh. Granny. You said that was 429 yards?
Yours is 393
yards.
No, they're different.
429. 393 is meters. Okay. Did you show all the colors yet?
I did, but I didn't see the names. So.
Okay, names.
This one is King's Crown. That makes sense.
Pretty gold. With the
this one is Grand Bazaar. I like this one.
Pretty. Looks like spicy.
Probably, yeah. And then I think I already did this one.
Did you tell them the name?
Yeah,
City at Night. Okay. All right, so we have more yarn.
Yet again.
One of these days I'm going to show you the craft room. It is much better. However,
we just filled it up again.
I have so much yarn. The whole middle's
and we have
filled up, but it's in bins and things.
So it's somewhat organized.
We still have, I've got this brick looking, it's like contact paper, or it's not really wallpaper because you have to put paste and stuff on. It's underneath here. I have to show it to you. But we won't get it out now. Anyway, my daughter hopefully will have time to help me put that up sometime. If not this time, then the next time she's here. Or my other daughter can help me, Hannah. And we're going to keep this corner the filming corner. So I'm going to put the brick wall up, and then Sue will get your sign up. I know you haven't said anything about it. I just want you to know the nut house is coming. And I got the squirrels. And Tina, Crafts by the Rose. Y'all, don't forget her. She would love for you to come on over and subscribe. Her birthday's coming up. That would be a nice present. And let's see, I just moved this.
Right there.
Okay.
Tom
Is that all we needed to say, manager, you think?
I think so.
Okay, we're going to go chapter 20, and we are already 6 minutes in. You can always perform surgery, though. Right?
Yeah.
Not too hard.
We could do
And if you want to read any, you just let me know.
We could do a video of Happy Meal and then a video of reading.
So stop this one now?
No, I can just edit it later.
Okay.
They're going to be like...
There was something about Aunt Polly's. This doesn't have, this just has the chapter numbers. You know, before we had like
You can show them.
several little titles.
I think, right?
I don't know. They can't see anything but the
right
light.
There.
They trust us.
Chapter.
Just the chapter number in Roman numerals. So you can just help me keep up with where I am. We're using our fancy ring light
I think I'm going to turn it off.
tonight.
What's that? Ooh, more authentic.
Ooh.
Okay.
Manager's finishing some ice cream. But you help me keep my place. There was something about Aunt Polly's manner when she kissed Tom that swept away his low spirits and made him lighthearted and happy again. He started to school and had the luck of coming upon Becky Thatcher at the head of Meadow Lane. This is kind of cool, too. If I move it up, then I can kind of keep my place. His mood always determined his manner. Without a moment's hesitation, he ran to her and said, I acted mighty mean today, Becky, and I'm so sorry. I won't ever do you that way again as long as ever I live. Please make up, won't you? The girl stopped and looked him scornfully in the face. I'll thank you to keep yourself to yourself, Mr. Thomas Sawyer. I'll never speak to you again. Can you believe her acting like that after all the crying and stuff she's been doing? She tossed her head and passed on. Tom was so stunned that he had not even the presence of mind enough to say, who cares, Miss Smarty? Until the right time to say it had gone by, so he said nothing. But he was in a fine rage, nevertheless. He moped into the schoolyard, wishing she were a boy, and imagining how he would trounce her if she were. He presently encountered her and delivered a stinging remark as he passed. She hurled one in return, and the angry breach was complete. It seemed to Becky, in her hot resentment, that she could hardly wait for school to take in. She was so impatient. I'm sorry. She was so...
Oh,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
just got wet.
Ah! We just pulled down... Oh, no! Hang on. We touched something.
Oh, I fixed it. Okay.
Okay, she was so... That'll go in it.
Okay.
She was so impatient to see Tom flogged for the... Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Am I right?
Yeah. Impatient to see Tom flogged.
Yeah. Okay. So where am I? Injured spelling book. Impatient to see Tom flogged for the injured spelling book. Remember was it the guy that did the ink on it? And Becky saw it.
I think so.
And she was going to tell him, but then she decided not to because he was being such a nerd. I was going to say the other word that rhymes with that. I think people are going to say, y'all are too dark. We can't see y'all. What do y'all think, people?
Should I turn on this one?
I would.
There we
Just
go.
a little bit.
Second. That's good.
Is that too much?
I think that one.
That's fine?
Yeah.
Okay. Poor girl. She did not... Spelling book. If she had any lingering notion of exposing Alfred Temple, yep. Tom's offensive fling had driven it entirely away. Poor girl, she did not know how fast she was nearing trouble herself. The master, Mr. Dobbins, had reached middle age with an unsatisfied ambition. The darling of his desires was, are you still freezing?
No,
And you eating ice cream? She's pumping her big old long legs around. The darling of his desires was to be a doctor, but poverty had decreed that he should be nothing higher than a village schoolmaster. Every day he took a mysterious book out of his desk and absorbed himself in it at times when no classes were reciting. He kept that book under lock and key. There was not an urchin in school, but was perishing to have an urchin in school, but was perishing to have a glimpse of it. Mysterious book. But the chance never came. Every boy and girl had a theory about the nature of that book, but no two theories were alike, and there was no way of getting at the facts in the case. Now, as Becky was passing by the desk, which stood near the door, she noticed that the key was in the lock. It was a precious moment. She glanced around, found herself alone, and in the next instant she had the book in her hands. And the title page, Professor Somebody's Anatomy, carried no information to her mind, so she began to turn. I think I know what's coming up. Anatomy. She came upon a handsomely engraved, wait a minute, anatomy carried no information to her mind. So she began to turn the leaves, pages in the book. She came at once upon a handsomely engraved and colored front piece, a human figure, stark naked. That moment, a shadow fell on the page and Tom Sawyer stepped in at the door and caught a glimpse of the picture. Becky snatched at the book to close it and had the hard luck to tear the pictured page half down the middle. She thrust the volume into the desk, turned the key, and burst out crying with shame and vexation. Tom Sawyer, you're just as mean as you can be to sneak up on a person and look at what they're looking at. How could I know what you was looking at? How could I know you was looking at anything? You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Tom Sawyer. You know you're going to tell on me. And, oh, what shall I do? What shall I do? I'll be whipped. I never was whipped in school. Then she stamped her little foot and said, be so mean if you want to. I know something that's going to happen. You just wait and you'll see. Hateful, hateful, hateful. And she flung out of the house with a new explosion of crying. Tom stood still, rather flustered by this onslaught. Presently, he said to himself, what a curious kind of fool the girl is. Never been licked in school. Shucks, what's a licking? That's just like a girl. They're so thin-skinned and chicken-hearted. Well, of course I ain't going to tell old Dobbins on this little fool because there's other ways of getting even on her that ain't so mean. But what of it? Old Dobbins will ask who it was tore his book. Nobody will answer. Then he'll just do the way he always does. Ask first one, then t'other. And when it comes to the right girl, he'll know it without any telling. Girls' faces always tell on them. I don't know about that. You. They ain't got any backbone. She'll get licked. Well, it's kind of a tight place for Becky Thatcher because there ain't any way out of it. Tom conned the thing a moment longer and then added, all right, though, she'd like to see me in such a fix. Let her sweat it out. Tom joined the mob of skylarking scholars outside. In a few moments, the master arrived and school took in. I always thought they said it took up.
It's 40 minutes.
They say it took in.
Do you want to say?
No, we can keep going if you can.
I can, but do you just want to make a separate? Oh, no, because that wouldn't make any sense. Never mind. Just keep going.
Because you want to close this out and then...
No, I'll just like we could just say, Bye.
We're having a
We can say.
administrative conversation here in the middle of time.
Do you
I'm
just
sorry.
want to do that?
Do what?
Just end it right here.
End it right.
Make
Okay.
another part
Wait a
two.
minute. Let me get to a good stopping place.
Okay.
Every time he stole a glance at the girl's side of the room, Becky's face troubled him. Stop right there.
Okay.
Bye, y'all.
See you in part two.
Be sweet. Don't be ugly.